Now this video is specifically to point out the possible houses of the people who are surveilling me, watching me, and then following me off property. And then when I move to a more long distant region from here, that's when the black man, the security guard, and the white limo, who's hired by my brother, he has to be, so he's got to be on someone's payroll, gets called and then follows me up into further regions, and then that's where the guy in the white guy in the white truck with the emblem on his door comes after me. You got to be criminals or something, regardless if they're professionals, security guard, private investigator, cops. They are criminals for stalking me for 10 plus years and for lining me up for kills. Now I want to cover this house right here. I'm going to point out first. Let's get an orientation. From this point right here, that street facing the camera, facing my front door, is called Handley. We're going to go 90 degrees. That street right there is called Soledad. That's west. Now we're going to come over here, and right over there, where you see that silver shed and that stuff, there's a guy who rides around on a quad. Stares over here a lot. I have a suspicion that he could very well be that guy or part of that team that followed me out to Quail Valley in a truck and used a quad to drive up on my camp and looked at me. I reported that. And then all the way out to Ocatella Wells about 20 years ago. These people are everywhere. This is the way they work. I'm not saying they are. I'm just saying there's a possibility. That guy acts really strange behavior. Now, definitely that house there that's got the sunroof on it, the solar panels, there was an RV sitting there, and there was a blonde-haired girl, and they were definitely watching me. That team is gone. I don't know where they're at, but they pulled out about 2 months ago when I started writing on the Rightco website, and I started working out and walking around here. The guy up there on the hill, you see that piece of wooden house up there, and you see the Mexican tile roof up there and the trees. Now up in there, that guy, he looks like a tweaker. The reason is because over here on the ridge, at night, there's a house over here that they do a lot of drug distribution, somewhere over there. And the guy gets up on that hill at night, and he directs traffic with the flashlight. Traffic comes in, he gives them flash, draws them to the corner, directs them over there to the drug house. Not my business, I just don't care. But you never know, he could very well be the same guy in that house who sits up on that field. Don't know. Possibility, but definitely that guy up there on the house has a good eyeball on me. Now we're going to rotate one other one right here. That house over there, as far as I know, is fine, behind the RVs. Now right over here, this is east. Now right over here, and that little teeny chateau, you can see through the trees. Short building, brown front. It's like a rental. White garage. It's like a rental. There's been multi-times people have parked there. The very people stalking me have camped there, stayed there for a couple nights at a time. Even the black truck was hiding behind the house over here. The same truck that would stalk me as I went down the road, wanting to run me over or get me. You could tell when people are stalking, and when I turn around, he backs up, he goes another road. He tried to stalk me for a couple, 3 or 4 days, a couple weeks. He was at that house over there with the sunroof stuff on it, the solar panels on it. And black truck was over there for a couple, 3 days hanging with the RV. This was a couple months ago. And then he worked his way over here and would sit behind that garage. The old people that would rent this would come up and drive up and look at me as if I've done something wrong or I'm some kind of predator in the area. This is, like I've explained, the strategy of the black man and my brother. Security guard is to get the good citizens to think I'm some kind of problem, and then he's got the eyes of the good citizens. And then the good citizens call you police, and then you police put your eyes on me like I'm the problem. And then anywhere I go, the black guy who is a hitman, the security guard, with the white guy in the white truck who's the hit team, then have the police and the good people of the community watching me, helping the hitman kill me. This is what's happening, and the police are part of this unknowingly. You cops would not knowingly lead an assassin to kill a person. I'm certain of that much. So these you police officers are being misled by these people. That's criminal all in itself. But this is the way it goes, and documentation is all I got. But so those are the houses. Now the key thing is, when I was leaving the property for 6 months straight here with Richard, he'd drive me around in his car and we'd fly around. These people would clock in on me street after street, pull into Dollar General, pull into Hobos, come down the streets. Even Richard would dodge him, and they would almost run into him sometimes, because Richard was that good at driving that car through these dirt roads that he would confuse them, and they would end up on top of us instead of following us or getting in front of us. They were probably trying to see if I was going to split and run or something, because they got their eye on me. They could very well be watching me now. I don't know. Near the front of the month when rent is due, it seems like I get a lot more observations. But, until I have, where I'm 100% believing who they are and that they're following me, I just write them off. I'm not paranoid. I'm just very selective on who I do believe is part of the stalk team and who is not. So somewhere on this property, as I was watched for 6 months, and every time I left the property on foot or in a car, these people were on me. The black man in the white limo, the security guard, he was on me too when I would be looking for new places to live. So somewhere between this house to the east, along this spectrum, probably up there on the hill, and definitely that house used to be, but not anymore. We have new tenants. These people are the ones calling the hitman and the hit team to come after me. So I'm just saying, is if I get clocked off, that you know who to come look questioning. You question that house right there, the owner of that house. The owner of that house knows the people that knows the hit team. The owner of that house knows the people who do heroin, who do drugs, who know the hit team people. It's traceable. And I'm not certain about that guy on the quad. And I'm not certain about those. I doubt those people. But somebody in my vicinity is calling. I'm leaving in a few days, and when I leave, if I have people stalking me and tracking me, that means that somebody up here on this ridge that I'm explaining called the hitman to get him on top of me again. I'm going to go pretty far away. If he tracks me, I'll know. I'll call the cops there. But I'm saying is, if I get killed, you know where to start backtracking and looking. Appreciate your time and concern, officers, because this is legitimately real.